Hey crafty cuties and welcome! Today I'm going to show you how to make a traveler's notebook bookmark and a custom charm like the little glass unicorn charm that you see there. I'm super excited. I was inspired by this glass bead charm that I had made at a scrapbook convention last year by the business called Craft Fantastic, and I had bought a few of their products. I went ahead and grabbed some other beads and charms that I wanted to use along with some leather cording. I have made Traveler's Notebook bookmarks out of twine before, and I've never had an issue with them like falling apart or anything like that. So I'm going to start out with the handmade charm part, and I have this little glass bead, this metal charm, and then a piece of designed paper. And make sure that your paper design that you want on your charm is just about the same size as the glass bead. As you can see here, I'm just showing you the paper pad that I grabbed that little piece from. It's the Enchanted paper pad by Michaels. And I am going to use this glue. This is also by Craft Fantastic. I'll have all of their info below. I'm not sure if glossy accents would work. This glue is similar to that. However, this glue dries a lot quicker, so I would use a glue that was specifically designed for this. So I go ahead and just add a few little dots around the image that I'm going to place my bead on top of. Now on their website, the directions actually say to place the glue on the bead and then place the bead onto the paper. I didn't do that, and I've made these a few times and I've accidentally not followed that instruction. I've never had an issue, so you can do however you would like. So I go ahead and you can see I'm kind of pressing this around in circular motions until the glue gets kind of tacky and you'll start to feel it kind of grab. So don't do that too much, just until you feel it grab, and make sure it's placed where you want it. And then I use a Q-tip to clean up the edges, and you want to let this dry for 1 minute. I forgot to show you I was using the Q-tip to clean up the excess glue around the edges, but I'll go ahead and do that here. And we are going to be cutting around the image anyways, but just to make sure it's not super oozing with glue. So when you cut around your image, you want to almost undercut. So I tilt the scissors at like a diagonal so that we are undercutting. You can't really see around the edges that it's undercut though, but you just really don't want any of the paper peeking out around that glass bead. I was really happy to have my nice new Tim Holtz scissors because they're super sharp and they got the job done really nice. And then once you have that cut out, we are going to adhere the glass bead to the metal charm. And on their website, they have tons of different sizes and styles. Again, I'm going to use this glue, and since I'm using a small charm, I'm going to add just one little dollop of glue. If you're using a bigger bead and charm, then it's said to use 2 dots of glue, I believe. And you just go ahead and place your glass bead in the charm, and you have, a few seconds to kind of move that around and just make sure that it is the right orientation. And then there you go, you made your own charm. This would be so fun to coordinate with different designs and prints, and you can even use pictures actually, which is really cool. Now I'm going to start putting together the rest of my Traveler's Notebook charm, because I'm going to use that unicorn charm on one side and then some beads on the other. So I am just trying out some different beads, and I was doing a thumbs down because some of my beads don't have a big enough opening for this leather cording. So that's the only downside to using this, but I had plenty of things that did work. Lots of options. And one thing that you can do is just use a little jump ring, and you can adhere that if you have a charm that doesn't have a big enough opening. But these ones fit just fine. So basically, I'm just going to play around a little bit and try out some different beads and things so that I can figure out what I want to put on the ends of my little bookmark here. I'm going to use this little jump ring to attach my new charm to, like I was mentioning. This just makes it a lot easier The leather cording almost fit through that opening, but not quite. So go ahead and squeeze that together. I just used some little pliers to do that, really easy. I am going to go ahead and just tie a knot, and I only had to tie once and it stays super well. You could totally use a little bit of matte medium glue in between that knot if you wanted, but I've never had an issue with these coming off with one knot, and I really didn't want it to be too bulky. So now I am wanting to add another bead on kind of stacked on top of that. And so I'm going to now measure out how long I want my cording. You want your cording to be at least double the length of your traveler's notebook, along with a little bit extra so that it hangs out towards the bottom as your bookmark. So now I'm stringing on that bead from the opposite end so that can be on top here. And I really love how it looks, super cute. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie one more knot on top of that bead. And if you didn't want to tie a knot and you just want your bead to kind of be hanging there freely, most likely it's not going to be moving around too much because you're going to have it be around your notebooks, but I just wanted to go ahead and secure that in place so it wasn't moving too much. Because I do bring my traveler's notebook in my purse a lot, and here's just a little peek as I am setting up my new traveler's notebooks and having a lot of fun with it. I will definitely show you guys a closer look of that soon. I went ahead and took my old charm out of my traveler's notebook, and now I'm replacing the new charm bookmark so that I can figure out the placement and just make sure that it's the length I want. I'm going to trim the end now that I know I like that. And I'm going to work on the second side. So I'm just placing this little bow and unicorn charm on. I know that I wanted to trim it, and so I just slid those on really quick to kind of get an idea of what they would look like. I definitely recommend making sure you know what it's going to look like on your traveler's notebook before tying everything off and making it kind of permanent, finished. So I know that I like everything, and I'm just going to actually tie around the unicorn charm. And if you kind of can't see because my hands are covering, but I do have a little bow charm above that one. Now it slid down as I was holding this up to show you that I'm just doing one single knot, and I just pull really tight, and I mean it's definitely not going to come undone. And then the bow charm is just right above that, and I'm not actually tying a knot above that one. I was totally okay with that one kind of moving around. So I'm just doing one final check to make sure I like it, and then I can trim off the excess cording that I did there. And there you go. I like one of my sides to be just a little bit longer so that I know, which area in my traveler's notebook it's marking. And there you go. I had so much fun creating this, and I also had a ton of fun making the actual charm. I hope you guys will check out that website if you wanted to get the supplies to make your own, or you can probably check a craft store. And if you make your own traveler's notebook bookmark, I would love to see on Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.